Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining another episode of the 5-Minute Modeler, where I provide tips and tricks to help you with your model railroading experience. If you haven't already, just hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified of future episodes. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section, good or bad. I like them all. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the operations of the American Aggregate sand and gravel facility on my Grand Trunk Western Petoskey Subdivision layout. First, a few words about my layout. I model the Grand Trunk Western and a portion of the old Grand Rapids and Indiana Railroad, later run by the Pennsylvania. While the GR and I ran from Cincinnati to Mackinac City, I chose to model the portion between Grand Rapids and Petoskey. While the Grand Trunk never operated on this section of railroad, in my fantasy world, they purchased the line from the struggling Penn Central. The city names on the layout are real towns, but they are not in geographic order, nor are they modeled with any similarity to the prototype. I'll share more about this story in future episodes. The American Aggregate facility mines gravel and sand from the rich repositories of glacial till deposited during the last ice age. On my layout, this industry is located near the town of Manton, though this is not where the actual American Aggregate is located, nor does it look anything like this. With the layout set in Michigan, far from any coal reserves, this does allow for the use of open hopper cars throughout the layout. The actual facility was near Oxford, Michigan, and rail operations ceased there years ago. The job was usually run as an extra, called the mud run or gravel extra. Gravel and sand is pulled from the pits and loaded into the loading tower. The firm leases an aging GP9 from the Grand Trunk and uses this locomotive to pull cars through the loader. Then once loaded, we'll push them up to Leroy where the spur connects with the Grand Trunk. The Grand Trunk will pick up any loaded cars and drop the empties at Leroy, and the GP9 will then push the cars back to the loader in Manton. Today, there are 4 cars that need to be sent up to Leroy. The Jeep 9 pulls the loads from the east track, pulls them towards the end of the siding, then pushes them over to the west track. Once they have the 4 loaded cars, the train proceeds up the 2.5% grade to Leroy. Once past the entrance to the American Aggregates facility, the train crosses the Manistee River on a 160-foot set of deck bridges. You can also see the arch bridge from the main line as the trains pass over the bridge. Once arrived in Leroy, the crew is hoping it'll be a short wait for Grand Trunk number 58. According to the Grand Trunk dispatcher, the train should arrive by about 10:30. At approximately 10:40, the train arrives, led by Jeep 38 6318. According to the dispatcher, there will be 4 empties dropped off. Hey, let's watch the switching action. Drifting down the hill, the Jeep slides past the east switch and pulls the loads toward the loader. Once the first car is parked under the loader, the car loading begins. As each car is loaded, the engine will pull that car out of the east track and push it back up to the west track. It'll then return to the east track, pick up the next car, and place it on the west track, and so on. The loaded cars won't be pushed up to Leroy until there's another train scheduled to pick them up. Well, I hope you enjoyed this bit of operations today. This job took almost an hour to run from start to finish. Nothing too fancy or complicated, much as the real railroads would have designed it. Think about this as you design or plan your layout. The real railroads tried to make things as simple as possible with the least amount of resistance or opportunity for failure. Thanks for watching this episode. I'll have future episodes that include more of the history of my layout, as well as additional freight and passenger operations. If you liked what you saw, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and share it with your friends.